Good evening everyone and welcome to another Twister stream. This time we are going for the wildcard tournament tonight on the official Blitz channel. So this is actually Amonet85 basically logging in. I'm hoping that we will get a... This is like perfect timing. Here we go. Both teams are already completely there. There's about a 3-minute delay on the stream. So hopefully people won't... basically choose their definite lineup just yet. And if you want to get stuff, make sure to watch through the portal. Basically that's it. Make sure you're logged in. It's global, so you can log in from any server as long as you're on the portal of your own server and you're logged in through there. So we are starting tonight with Mercy, well, Isopromat, because there's two Mercy teams here tonight. Isopromat Mercy versus Lokah. It is a best of 3 and we are starting off on Castilla. So let me see if I can find that map for you. Castilla, not one of my favorite maps to be fair, but it is a good map to have. Of course, it would help if I had my blitz sorted in the right order so that I can actually just be behind maps. Here we go. This is what Castilla looks like. Castilla has 3 bases. Base A, which is considered map base. Base B in the middle. Base C, that is considered the heavy base. Mainly this map is not one of my favorites because it leads to a lot of stalemate gaming. It's very easy for everyone to just hold their positions. There's a lot of camping lines, a lot of crossfire lines, so a lot of people are not very eager to actually move into places and get stuff done, really. So that is the map that we're going to start on in just over 3 minutes. I'm just going to take that away from you. I'm hoping that everything is okay. Yeah, that everything sounds right. I actually forgot to activate my music, so we will have a little bit of background noise. I put the music on very softly, mainly because the whole volume of OBS has been heightened a little bit, so I want to make sure that it doesn't basically out-sound me, let's put it that way. I will keep an eye a bit on the chat, but because of that 3-minute delay, just be aware that anything that I react to, it will happen. You will hear it like 3 minutes after you've actually said it, so it is a bit useless. So with 2.5 minutes left to go, we see that Mercy has already readied up. We see Karolek and Access using the Kenny, which is, and Ariana Grande using the Lenny, the cousin of Kenny. I have a feeling that that's sort of a salute to me because I'm known to have had a lot of battles in the Kenny. It is such a troll tank, it is such an overpowered tank, but it is a funny little monster. And it's excellent if you are frustrated after a losing streak and you just want to make sure that you end on a win. Lokah, of course, clan of my own server and clan after my own heart. I'm one of the founders of Lokah, and even though I haven't been in it for years and years, I will always have a soft spot for it, so it will always have a place in my heart. So seeing them make it here is actually quite awesome. But they are not there yet. They have a chance tonight to get a ticket to Minsk, but before that they have to beat 3 other teams. And we are going to start with Isopromat Mercy. And they have taken 2 T22 mediums, a Batchat, 2 215Bs and 2 Forces, which is a very, very new lineup kind of thing. Because quite frankly, it is all about the new meta, which is basically the FV, the T22, the Force, and some filler tanks, which in this case would be the Batchat. And they're going to go up against a 215B, an E5, a T22 medium, a 268, a Batchat, a Force, and another T22 medium. So that is a lot of, quite a different lineup. E5 with the new consumables potentially is nice and competitive, but it is a tricky tank, mainly because the new consumables don't actually make it stronger. They just make it faster and take a little bit less damage. And whereas for the 215B, I feel that that really does give that extra edge that it needs. With the E5, I'm still not sure. I have seen it used quite a bit. It used to be it used to be actually my favorite tank until they removed the cupola, but I don't know if it's actually going to count as competitive enough. Actually, up in the music a little bit, and here we go into the 3rd match of this best of 3. Meaning that whoever wins this already has an advantage because they only have to win 1 more. So let's see what they're going to do. Mercy using the same avatars. I can really dig that. Mainly because there's always this team spirit when you take the same avatars, when you take the same camouflages. So I quite like that. Yuriki using the Batchat. STB, they've changed it a little bit, but here we go. Let's see what happens. We see Lokah spreading out a little bit, the Batchat going to overlook base C, and he might meet 2 215Bs there, which will find the Batchat very juicy to eat. We have the STB going up towards the Citadel, the T22 holding a little bit behind. Mercy going in for a cheeky cap, one of the 215Bs already getting forced. That's definitely gonna hurt. There's not even a Force that shot him. It's a 268. together with some other tanks. But Mercy now has a base, so that means that they have a point advantage. And that means that Unicum now is in a bit of a tricky position. This is basically the kind of positioning that I expect when people kind of want to stalemate gameplay. Because they have the advantage, they will have the point advantage, even if they don't have the HP advantage, so that's not that far, it's only 1k. And the 215Bs are holding, they are ready to crossfire anyone that is spotted at the Citadel. And we see some blind shots happening into where people are usually at, even though they're not there now. We have the 2 TDs in the corner, Karolak and Unicum both on the Citadel. Karolak now spotted though, and let's see if that's gonna be that. That's definitely costing him. And he is actually driving into the church, which is not going to do him many favors. There he goes. Takes a little bit more damage, if not that much. But now that he's unspotted, he should really move. The FVs having been spotted again. The Batchat on top of the hill. Camping. The FV taking some more damage, but not all that much. All in all, Mercy has the definite advantage now. Mainly because of that base that they have and the points that just keep going up with it. Foch shooting into where you would expect tanks to be. But it does no damage. Now he does though a little bit, if not much, with an unspotted Ariana Grande. And who knew that celebrities played Blitz, right? Crossfire happening, Ariana Grande telling people where to shoot because he knew where he was hit from. But it does no damage there. And overall, not much is happening. It is a very, very stalemate game, as I said. Thing is that they could try to take base A, but if they do, they're likely going to get Foch because you see Skilloid moving on the other side. And Vasily is going back towards the Citadel. Probably to spot, because at some point Lokah will have to make a move. They're already 200 and nearly 70 points ahead, which is pretty much the whole enemy team. So they will have to make a move, they will have to get those bases. And we see the T-22 now moving in, spotting the other T-22, Karolak and Unicum. Even if it's only just Unicum even. No skill, just Vano climbing up. Ariana Grande making a move. Lokah is definitely making a move towards base A. But will they be able to get away with it? Because there's a Skilloid Foch at the back, ready to take some massive damage. And let's see, there you go, that's the first one. And even though he's now been spotted and immediately gets shot, Karolak taking more shots there. And the second one goes into Ariana Grande as well, but they are stealing the base. And now we have Mercy responding by capping base C, and it is uncontested because pretty much all of Lokah is here. And they're losing quite a bit of HP just capping that base. And so now they might have a... Oh, Unicum getting forced. There goes Ariana Grande, deleted. Thing is that it cost Lokah way too much here, and they're not going to take this game. Especially now that base B is also taken. The Batchat is running away, getting generally massacred. We have no skill, just Vano getting in. They want that T-22 out of the way. But the cost of getting one tank out is immense. Look at that. HP is just bleeding, and they do take out a tank. But it costs them more than a tank HP-wise. We have Bio moving out. Definitely not Rico, just getting destroyed. And overall, there are some low health targets. They do take out Introvert. And there's a very low HP Bio. But he is still alive. They are at 800 points. Project is actually holding back. No skill, just Vano moving in. Yudiki has been taken out. It is 5 versus 4. And Unicum is now low HP as well. And even though, again, low health targets, but they're not being taken out. The Foch is still alive. He's almost reloaded. XS Project is almost out of the way. There goes Skilloid. Bio taking some damage. There goes XS. And now it is 4 versus 3. With one hiding T-22. But there's no need, there's no way that Mercy is going to lose this match. And by taking out no skill, just Vano, they've taken it home. That early cap, that early advantage. And they even managed to murder all of Lokah now. So that is definitely something. A very good match by Mercy, very impatiently played, taking that cap advantage, getting that point advantage up, and then forcing Lokah into the action, but unable to actually do, Lokah basically unable to do anything about it. So with 1.5 minutes left to go, we are getting ready to go into the second match. Now the pressure is definitely on Lokah. They have to win the next match. They have to win the next 2 matches in order to go through to the upper bracket finals, whereas Isopromat Mercy just has to win 1 more. And that is definitely a comfortable advantage to have, I can imagine. So, Lokah now still picking their lineup. Mercy pretty much ready for it, with a similar but different lineup. A T22, 2 215Bs, an STB, 2 Foshes, and... let's see, someone just picked a 215B, but someone else is changing. Tanks are being changed, but they still need a minute to do that, so there's plenty of time. In the meantime, seeing myself getting called Amanda again in the chat. That is not my name, mind you. So, Mercy now ready with... yes, they are going to stick with those T20... no, they are changing. 2 T22s, 2 215Bs, 2 Foshes, and I think an STB. Versus 2 215... oh, it's a bad chat. 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, a 268, and 2 Spaghettis. Spaghetti, new in the game, but basically functions as a as an autoloader, but slightly different. It can hold its own a little bit better, and especially when you have 2 like this, it can be truly evil. So let's see. And just for those that are watching, it is on the portal. It's actually on all 4 portals. You just have to click the right link. Because you have to go to the tournaments and then the wildcard, because it doesn't, it's not listed under the Twister streams, mind you. So let's see what is going to happen in this second, potentially decisive match. And we see Lokah heading towards base A, and Mercy doing the same thing. I will call them Mercy in the games because it's a lot easier to say that than Isopromat. But later on I will make that difference. We have the Spaghettis heading towards the middle to overlook and protect base B. Base A pretty much neglected. The Force holding at the middle, the 215Bs from Mercy going up onto the hill again. And basically no one is going for A. But we have a Force and a Batchat that are on the middle. Blind shot happening but taking no damage. But they're going to guess that people are going to be at the Citadel, because that would only make sense. Forced in a good position to get some crossfire in for anyone rushing their fees. Yuriki losing some HP there. And we have no skill Giovanni climbing up the Citadel. I like that Mercy is actually doing a lot of blind shots, expecting people to be in places, even if they're not hitting it. No skill Giovanni has been spotted, as has the STB. Ariana Grande taking a little bit of damage there, even though he's not been spotted. And that goes to show blind shots can be very effective. More blind shots happening where Ariana Grande is exactly in the bush but not on the tank. And I'm basically just circling because there's not much happening. The 215Bs are spotted, the STB is spotted, and no skill Giovanni has been spotted, and he takes some damage for it. But overall, not much is happening, no bases are being capped. And basically we just have to wait and see what happens, because basically at this stage, I believe that... ooh, that was a big hit. And he takes one back immediately. After there's points high and all of that, I think they look at XP. But now XS Project is pretty much being murdered. Unspotted, but barely alive. And let's see. Yuriki pulling back a little bit. XS Project probably glad to be alive. because that would have given them a point advantage. But at the same time, basically there's now a big gun out of the way. I'm really just circling because there's not all that much going on. Ariana Grande holding, having no shots. Rico had been spotted as well. He also knocked down a tree, which kind of shows where he is. But he has to be careful, even though he does not know that Skeloid is looking in his... Oh, he's not even looking in his direction, but could be potentially shooting him. We see some action building around the Citadel. 3 Lokah tanks versus potentially 3 Mercy tanks. But J-Boss is relocating a little bit. And again, there's not all that much happening. People are basically just waiting. And we just have to wait and see what happens. The Spaghetti's spotting as if there's a big giant TD behind them. There kinda is. And the Mercy Mets are not taking any chances. Even though they know that 268 is barely a one shot. Bit of wildfire going on still. And they kind of have to. But now the 268... Ooh, that was a big hit into Unicum. Force protecting base A. They can't really do much about that. And then meds are pretty juicy. While we have a 215B now going in. They kind of have to take the risk. Even though it can be very, very deadly. And I don't get why the meds are actually pulling back a little bit. Let's see. The Forge. Ooh, Karvolek almost destroyed. One more reload and he's going to be gone. And that's going to give them the point advantage that they so desired. So basically now Mercy has the advantage. They don't even need to cap a base. If it ends like this, they will win. In the meantime, we see some action happening on the other side. Let's see if we can get over there. And they are taking them out. They kind of have to. There he goes. And now it's tied again. But HP-wise, Mercy has a 3k advantage. And that is basically going to be the problem. The T-22 almost gone. Stanley getting destroyed by the Forces. Base C being capped. Lokah being cornered. They can't really get out of there. The T-22 can't move without getting murdered. And he has to survive. It is very vital for him to survive. And Lokah has the base now. But will it be enough? Base A has now also been capped. Unicum taking too much of a chance and getting destroyed for it and potentially having cost Lokah the game here. Tanks are disappearing left and right, but it is 5 versus 4 and it's going to be 5 versus 3. There you go, and the game is definitely for Mercy. There's barely any time left. And now Lokah has captured another base, but they are 2 behind on points. And no skill just Vano is just going to be gone as well. And now it's just Ariana Grande. And he can't take it home. Especially not versus T-22. That is ramming and shooting. And going to murder him in the next reload. And there he goes, nice flying turret. Landing beside like a towel in the ring. And the second match is for Mercy, which means that Isopromat Mercy is through to the upper grand finals and Lokah will have to fight against elimination. So that is it for the first matchup. Very over quite quickly. Let's have a look, see how that went for the other teams. Because Appa is fighting the other Mercy. And that Mercy is going to take it home. So now we're going to have Mercy versus Mercy and Appa versus Lokah. So RU versus RU, EU versus EU. And Lokah will either kick out Appa or Appa will kick out Lokah. But that means there are 2 Russian teams left. Because after the next matchup, which happens in about 15 minutes, I believe. Let me have a look. Yes. Then we will have RB versus Isopromat. And they are going to decide, this match is going to decide who's going up to the grand finals for the wildcard tournament. So those matches were pretty sweet though. A lot, I remember not last seasons, previous seasons, the RU server was mostly known for rushing, just going YOLO and focus firing it out basically. And this was very tactical gameplay, especially that first game. And I really, really like that. So in the meantime, be sure to look, if you want to get stuff, be sure to look through the portal. You have to go to the tournament tab, not the... please don't go for the Twister season link. But you can use that to get to the tournament tab, because it's on a different link, because it's a different tournament. So let's see, I'm hearing no background music, please. I honestly have no idea how much you hear, because I can barely hear it. But that's because I always have my music on quite softly. But now, since we are waiting, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a replay while we wait for the next run. And I actually got a game that I was actually sort of hoping I'd have the time to show you, because I haven't watched it myself, but damage wise it is quite epic. So let's go and have a look. It would help if it actually went into the game. Here we go. In the E100, a pretty unappreciated tank these days, especially with all the mice and all the OP heavies with the OP consumables. So let's see how he goes. He has a cat camel on it. I'm not a really big fan of that. Mainly because it just looks weird. I love cats, but is this a cat with antlers? So let's see. It's not a supremacy game, so he can't actually up his XP with supremacy points. Rip just asked if these guys are playing on RU. No, they're actually playing on EU. But yes, it is only a best of 3. Aim carefully. Aim carefully. Nice! That is a good first shot. And now there's a very juicy looking Leo behind there. And he's actually using... He's not turning his turret while looking. Now he is. And there you go, another one into the tiny, tiny hatch. Amazing. This is mainly one of the reasons I'm not that big a fan of the E100. Because it's a little bit... With long reload it can be a little bit boring. But now with the mats behind him, he's turning around. He just has to be careful not to get shot by the big guns there. Oh, this could be potentially very juicy. Oh, and it is! Lovely shot. And he immediately pulls back, though he doesn't really have to. I think he wants to go after the Leo, but the Leo is nowhere in sight for him to shoot. But he can, however, shoot that E100. Which is just looking very juicy as well. And we're already nearly 3k damage in though, so it's not too bad. But his teammates are steadily dying, so he has to be careful. And he is going after the juicy Leo. Oof. That is definitely a way to quickly do a lot of damage. That is one way to finish a Leo. Oh, Fuki just basically just said it. Lokah doesn't look like Lokah there. It didn't. This was not the Lokah we saw getting to the finals. Oof. Shame of a high roll shot, but it was needed. Now he's going to use the Jäger corpse to potentially take out the Jäger. He just has to be very careful because the Jäger can shoot him quite quickly and quite heavily. Let's see. And now it's a Coloban of 1 versus 4. Oof. Potentially 2 more one-shots, but the E100 has a bit more health. And that is the risk. E100 now seems to enjoy standing out in the open. Nice! 5.7k damage into it. The E100 is sort of flanking. And our E100 decides to just take it and take out the 103. Then turned around and used the Jaeger Corps from the other side. That is one way of doing it. And there you go, nice little bounce. That was definitely not a bounce. We're already 6.8k damage in. And he has plenty of health left. So he can decide to take a bit of a risk. But I'm not quite sure why he does that before he has actually reloaded. Because he doesn't have to. And he deals that damage. Oof. And now he's definitely having it because he can easily take 2 shots. And he just has to get 1 more in. Especially when the E100... There you go. Angles like that. 7.948 damage. That is awesome. 1816 basic speed. That is nuts. But lovely game. This is basically how to drive the E100, and it kind of shows that the E100 can still be a lot of fun. So with that, let's actually see how much time do we have left. 8 minutes. That means I'm not going to show you another replay, because that means that in about 4 minutes the next room will be up. And we will have Mercy versus Mercy, and they're going to go to Vineyards. That is actually one of my favorite maps, or at least it used to be one of my favorite maps. Mainly because it was just a lot of fun when it had the dusk settings. And I like the way that it's just peek up and over kind of stuff. It's still a relaxing map. Especially in Supremacy. I basically only play Supremacy. Because I can get away with it now with the button. I love the button. Thing is that with Encounter, I just find the battle so predictable. And it just means that you can just go to the same position, do the same thing on the same map each and every time, and either it works or it doesn't work because of your teammates, but all the same it's just So let's see. Basically I have not much to show you here, but I do want to go back to that game, especially the first game. Mercy dominating the map as they did, playing that patiently, and that is definitely the playstyle for winner. And we have seen Lokah bring the same level before, just not now. And I like games like that. I basically, one of the reasons that I used to not really watch the Russian gameplay was of the fact that it was mainly advanced rushing. And I really love, because I've actually been watching the games earlier today, the grand finals for the RU server. I actually love to see how that's developed now, and that basically the patient gameplay, the feeling each other out and then making a move based on what you feel is the other team's weakness. I love that. That is basically the kind of gameplay that I love, and that I love to commentate on, because it's tactical, it's not luck, it's not based on who focuses fires best. It's based on just the general build-up. It's like a chess game, let's put it that way. And that's something that I really, really enjoy. Not chess, that is, but the tactics. I can enjoy watching a chess match. I don't actually enjoy playing it, to be fair. But yeah. In the meantime, I'm seeing people comment on the fact that it's a best of 3, and to be fair, I fully agree with you. I think that going from a best of 7 challenger tournament, which basically followed a similar fashion to the professionals tournament, and then having this important match happen in a best of 3, that's kind of a downer. I do understand it, because Wargaming wants to compress the tournament, the wildcard tournament, into one evening, and you kind of have to do it this way then. But it is kind of sad because it is more dependent on luck. In this case, no, Mercy definitely outplayed Lokah. There's no denying that in any way. But generally with a best of 3, an ammo rack can cost you the game. Just a bit of stupid luck for the enemy team can make you lose. And that's something that is a lot less likely with a best of 7. Because with the best of 7, it would have to happen at least 4 matches in a row to count as a lucky win. And even though at that stage I can't think you can call it a lucky win at all. So yeah, I just hope you love that E100 gameplay because I really like that as well. But yes, I hope that the wildcard tournament as it is will change in the future. And who knows, if NA wins, then they have an extra server to contend with. So now we have Isopro versus Energy. I'm just going to say Sopro and Energy because that makes it a lot easier for me as commentator. And I'm sorry for butchering your team names because you deserve better. But in this case, I have to call it, and I can't say Mercy and Mercy because then yes, that won't work. So Sopro and Energy. Let's stick with that. It makes it a lot easier to commentate for me. So in just over 4 minutes we are going to go to Vineyard, so let me pull up that map for you real quick. Like I said, I liked it better with the dusk settings, and mainly that has to do with the fact that it's just, as it is right now, it is less interesting. Mainly because it's more like the other maps with the lighting at least. Weird as it is, it does change the whole ambience of it. So this is the map that we're going to go to next. It has 3 bases, 2 closest to their respective spawns. Base C in the city, actually more back in the city than it actually shows on the map here. And we will have to see what they do. There are ways to decap all the bases. There are ways to hold the bases. We have seen people going in the ruins or up the ramp near A to just decap it, and it has worked. Even though that people can be quite protected by the houses. That is definitely very interesting. So let's see. I'll take away the map so it can't block your view of the game, because that would really suck. I have done it before, I have to admit, so I'm just really hoping that I won't ever do that again. And we see Sopro now completely there and completely ready up. Mercy as well. Energy as well. They still have 3 minutes there, just under. So that is definitely plenty of time. And now we see for Vineyard, we see that Energy is taking out the Spaghetti, and I like that. Like I said, Spaghetti, very interesting tank, new reload system. It's got auto reloading, and it's just, you can decide whether you want to reload that last shell or the last 2 shells into your tank again, or if you want to clip someone real quick, and I absolutely love it. So basically, this is a new line I'm racing up on. I basically wanted to free XP the whole thing, but I didn't. Mainly because of the fact that I came to the standard B and was playing it and just feel absolutely in love with it. So it's going to be an absolute joy to grind that last tank. So in that case, I decided to just save my free XP. But yes, let's see. We have less than 2 minutes now, and Energy has varied up in two STBs, 2 Spaghettis, a T22 medium, a 215B, and a Batchet. So that is a very, very mobile lineup. The only one that is considered slow is the 215B, and he has that OP consumable that will allow him to go just as fast as anyone else. And they're going to go up against 2 215Bs, 2 T22 mediums, 3 215Bs even, 2 T22 mediums, and Batchet and a Foch. So again, pretty mobile lineup, but more armor because of those 215Bs. And I can't wait to see what they do with this, to be fair, especially the very mobile Energy lineup. It is a very interesting thing to see. Again, best of 3, the one that wins 2 matches is through to the next stage, and the one that doesn't is through to the lower bracket. And then you still have a chance because the loser of this gets to go against the winner of APA versus Lokah, and whoever wins that gets to go through the grand finals as well. So it's all in all going to be pretty fast. Tournament, Because we have this best of 3, then another best of 3, and then the grand finals is a best of 7. So that is more fair and less luck dependent. But if we see Sopromat keeping the shape and form that they've been showing so far, I would put my money on them. But I haven't seen Appa play yet, and I haven't seen Energy play yet. And they're exchanging a player. Vasily being put in. Norman's not happy, but you have to click the right portal link. The rewards are everywhere because I'm seeing it because I have my account logged in and watching too, because I want those 4 crates as well, of course. So here we go into the second matchup of the evening. Mercy versus Mercy, Sopromat versus Energy. Both teams using the same avatar, I love it. This is the team spirit that I like. It is useless, it doesn't mean anything, but it means everything. And now they're all using this. They're all using the same camo, and I love that even more. So let's see what they do. And I like that as well. Of course these will know each other because they're from the same clan. Good luck, have fun. Send to both sides now. And we have the Batchets. No, it's actually Sopromat that is going to cap the base. Now Energy doing the same thing, but the Batchet is being quite aggressive, spotting people early, wanting to get some shots in, shooting at the spaghetti and decapping that base, allowing his team to get the advantage. And we see, Introvert taking quite a bit of damage there. And Energy is just pushing, they're going straight on in. They are losing some HP, but they've taken out quite some HP and they've avoided Sopromat capping the base at all. And now we see that even though the Batchet has almost been lost altogether, he's not going to survive another reload. But he is driving forward, and he is going, but HP wise, it's pretty much the same thing. That is how much it cost them to take out that lone Batchet. And now, they still have the advantage even though they lost tank, but now Holstein is almost gone. But there goes Bayou. And Energy is pushing over. We see the STB steadily getting destroyed. There goes Introvert though. But it's costing Energy so much HP to just peek on over. They have so many low HP targets, but they're not being taken out. There goes one. The T-22 is going after the STB. J-Boys is gone. Avenger is gone. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but the T-22 just taken out Holstein. Now we have... There he goes. And now it is 4 versus 2. HP-wise, there's a lot of low HP tanks. There goes Skilloid. But... Oof. It is pretty close, but they're not going to survive this. This will be Sopromat's game. And I think that's mainly because Energy just pushed too aggressively. Wow. I love that. This was very impatient gameplay. This was basically Energy pushing up and over when they really shouldn't have. Because they should have just held a bit more. They had the advantage, but they just kept on pushing and overexposing themselves, going over that road, allowing Sopromat to shoot them down. And they didn't have to. I have a feeling Norman that's been complaining about the portal not working has actually clicked on the wrong link for the wrong region. Just saying. But yes, in just over a minute we're going to go into the second match. Sopromat now having the advantage. Energy having to win 2 matches in a row to take it home, and Sopromat only having to win 1. Second game on Vineyard. Let's see what happens. We see the 2 spaghetti staying together with the Batchet, 3 T-22 mediums and another Batchet. So that isn't even more mobile lineup than the last game. And I wonder what they're going to do with it, because rushing tactics as shown in the last game did not really work. And Sopromat is getting ready in a much more heavy lineup with 3 215Bs, a T22 medium, an E5, a Batchet and a 268. They are definitely going to take an extra big gun there, and it might just do the trick, especially against the lineup. Even though they can't see the lineup, they don't know what they are driving. It is going to be interesting to see how the 268 performs here with all those juicy targets. At the same time, that kind of makes him a very high targeted target. But yeah. In the meantime, watch through the portal if you want to get free stuff. There are 4 different portals. Well, there's a portal link for every server, so find the right one for you and make sure you are logged in. So let's see what happens this time around. Still all the same camo, and I love it. I hope to see more of this. Like I said, it is practically useless, but I like it so much. So let's see. We go up and away. Introvert heading towards base A. Olaf Sopramat heading into the same direction. And we see that Energy is heading towards base B, going to cap it, wanting to get that advantage, and they will, because there are 2 capping there and they will cap the base earlier than Sopramat will. And we have the rest waiting at the edge of the city, moving in, potentially going to cap that base. But that means that leaving base B pretty much undefended. Blind shot happening into base B, but there's no one there. Base C now being capped, and Energy is taking the early lead. And no one from Energy is actually spotted, so they don't know where anyone is. But they keep getting spotted themselves, and that definitely makes it interesting. We see Introvert heading towards the corner, wanting to spot anyone who is here, wanting to find the juicy guns. But he sees no one. And we have Energy holding the Batchet, taking a blind shot there. Not spotted for his troubles, but he immediately gets out of there. Pretty much because he is spotted. But he will generally get back. Wow! That was a nice big hit by the 268. But even though they've lost some HP, they definitely have the point advantage because of the fact that they have 2 bases. But base B is protected, but there are still points where you can actually cap it without too much trouble. Bajorpa spotted for a little bit there. Bayou spotted in the middle. That is the thing with all those fast tanks. Blind shots happening, but no one is there. Only Bio was spotted, and now even he is not spotted anymore. Sopramat holding, but they will have to make a move. And they are starting to get into the city. Getting some shots at the Batchet, but not into him. And they are moving in. They need to steal those bases. Base B being stolen. Base C being stolen. But base B is being stolen by a very juicy looking Batchet, and he's not going to like this. He's not going to survive that. Base B protected by the T-22s and the Spaghettis. Nerf getting shot at. Introvert hiding. Overall we see HP being bled, especially by Nerf here. He is taken out. Batchet is being rammed. And Bjorpa is not going to survive this. There he goes. But now Introvert is on the reload. They're already 910 points. They only need to take out a little bit more. But Sopramat is quite healthy looking. Base A being stolen. Mega moving in. Holstein being taken out. It is 6 versus 5. And look at the HP vanish. They are at 950 points. They will take base A, but base B is now being stolen. The Batchet's still alive. Mega in trouble. And they are capping it together. They kind of have to. And at this stage, basically, Energy needs to focus on taking out the low HP tanks. Because if they do that, they might still get it. There he goes. We are at 1k points and Energy takes the match. Well done. This is how you do it. Keeping your low HP targets alive. taking out steadily the enemy and thereby getting yourself to 1k points. Energy still being lost mainly because after every kill the game extends with a few more seconds. Epic gameplay by Energy, taking those 2 bases early and just basically waiting it out, using their view range to their advantage and getting away with it. And now we have a tiebreaker. We are going on to Fort Despair. Fort Despair looks like this. It is of course the map that Raid did their epic grill move in. It has 3 bases, A completely open, B a little bit more protected, C pretty secluded, but there's lines of fire into every map, and we generally see quite a lot of super heavies or the heavy TDs being moved into this mission to overlook and protect base B. So that's going to be fun to see what's going on here. I don't see any mice, which makes it all the more interesting, so I'll take away the map so it won't be blocking your screen, and we will focus on the match at hand. 3rd match in this best of 3. Anything can happen still. Mercy versus Mercy. This will determine which Mercy is going to the grand finals. And we see that Energy has varied up in an STB, a Spaghetti, 2 215Bs, 2 T22 mediums and a Foch. And they're going to go up against 2 215Bs, 3 215Bs, a T22 and 3 Foches. So that is a lot of firepower to take into a match. But if those Foches can hit the same target, it's going to be absolute mayhem, and I quite love it. So let's see what is going to happen here. We are 17 seconds in from the 3rd match, the tiebreaker of this matchup. And I love that these teams are pretty cheeky in their gameplay, because again, that last match was played so tactical. I love it. They even, it became a brawl mainly because they had to pick out targets, but it wasn't a raw match as such, because it was more about keeping their own team alive. So let's see what's going to go down now. 3 Foches can potentially be very, very deadly. I have no idea what that means, but I hope it's nice. Let's see. And we see Sopramat heading towards basically C and B mostly, whereas Energy is sort of doing the same thing, but they have a lot more spotty tanks. The T22s moving quite aggressively, getting hurt quite a bit for it. Base C being abandoned. T22 is pretty much going YOLO. And that is unexpected and very unnecessary. Because they are taking some HP of the enemies. But they lost a lot more than that they've actually taken. Cube now in definite trouble. We have a Foch that is waiting for it. We have Bayou that is going to cap a base. Potentially getting away with it. Applebow moving in. Wanted to get more shots in. But pretty much getting murdered for his efforts, because just one more reload and he is gone. Look at that, man. Ooh, there though, but he still goes. We have Cube almost gone. Something is almost gone. That sounds really weird when you say it like that. There has to be capping, or not capping, holding. And both teams have lost the gun. HP wise it is very close. This weird pushing move might actually work out, and we've entered a sort of brawl that is hard to predict the end of, because now we have Foch versus Foch and Foch wins. Something is gone. There goes Bayou. There goes a very juicy shot into Avenger, but the thing is that if he had shot the other FV, it would have made a lot more sense. Skilloid taking out Bjorpa. And now it is 3 versus 2, but one of them is very low HP. The Foch not hitting that is going to be very costly. And now it looks like it is Energy that is through to the grand finals. Because now especially the Foch made his last shot. And he will not be able to win this. And as weird as that push looked, because it really looked like that was, what are you doing, Energy? But it worked. It really worked. And Energy took it home. Love that. Very cheeky gameplay again. But Energy getting away with it. It is unpredictable. You don't expect it. You see them push and you look like, what exactly are they doing? Do they expect this to work? Well, they do, and it did. Wow. In the meantime, I just heard, and I'm going to check it now, that Lokah beat Appa with 2-0. So now we have Lokah again versus Sopramat. And I hope that they've sort of found their flow now. We still have about 15 minutes left to go. So that is time to show you one more replay before you're just stuck with my chatter. And let's see what I have. I really hope this is not a camping match. But we're going to see. Actually, one of my clanmates tuned with him. But my teammate was not the one that made this game epic, according to his own words. In the meantime, I saw someone just say, why do we have to watch 2 Russian teams while there are 2 EU teams playing? Because the Russian teams were in the upper bracket. So we have the grill heading towards the middle. I like that he's not going to camp, because that is basically what I was afraid of. Because grill lightly armored, but it's fast and it doesn't have to camp at all. It is mobile, it can do so much more. Let's see what they do. He does get spotted. That is not something that you want to happen in the grill, because it is a very juicy tank. Oof, nice big shot. He is in a bit of a tricky position, but if he has the team behind it, he can make it work. The IS-4 not pulling back enough. The E100 not pushing forwards enough. And the grill basically has no shots. And I can't say he wasted his adrenaline, but he kind of wasted his adrenaline here. E100 finally making a move, taking a nice big hit, and a nice big hit. We have a waffle and a grill camping on the other side. And our grill has been spotted, but he's in a good forward position. This is exactly the way that I feel grill should be played. Sort of front line, but not primary target. And it is that not primary target that makes a grill work its magic. So let's see what happens. Basically the only thing that he's not getting here is the shots, because people are too well protected. And that one did not pan. At this stage, I think he agrees that he needs to relocate, because he's not doing the damage that he should. Not doing the damage that he could, really. And there's a Leo in the middle. His team is steadily vanishing. And Leos are very juicy. But against the TD, they might just have the upper hand because they have the circling abilities. The Jaeger attempting to cap. We have a grill. Oh, that is potentially it. Oh! 1117 damage with one shot. That is why I like TDs. So let's see what he's going to do here. He can potentially have a very high damage shot. And he... well, not that much, but he does set him on fire. And that is definitely very helpful. Base B now being capped. The IS-4 pushing. The IS-4 definitely needs taking out. And he has been spotted. E100 looking his way. He's not risking it. And that is a very, very good call. They kind of can't let him get away. And now it is 2 versus 6. That is not the way that you want a match to go, really. Castilla moving in, and our grill is instantly turned into one shot. Oh, that is the high roll that he definitely wants. Good HE shot. Tiebreaker moving in. And oof. I like this. He says you lose, but we're not quite certain yet. VK making the move. They don't really have time. He needs to keep his teammate alive somehow. And that will be the tricky thing. They are all one-shots. And they do take out Everton. And now we are in a Colobanov situation. With a one-shot grill versus 3 one-shots. But oh my god. He still needs to do it. That is the first one. 1 down, 2 to go. Well, we are 920 points in. Base C is being capped. The waffle is moving in. The waffle's going YOLO, which is very helpful for our grill. And now... Ooh! Oh, he missed! Let's see what he does. Does he get it? Yes, he does! And he takes it home. That is the way to do it for sure. 6k Kolobanov. 5 kills, 1447 base XP. With a little bit of help of my lovely teammate, clanmate. So let's see, how long do we have left? 11 minutes. No, I'm not gonna risk it. Technically speaking, I should potentially get away with it, but if it's a draw, I might run out of time, so I'm not gonna do it. So in the meantime, I'm going to make a very shameless plug for myself. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is not the channel that we're streaming on now. My channel is called AmmoNet85. You can find me on Discord probably, and definitely otherwise look for it. I've been streaming a lot of Twister matches, and that's one reason to subscribe to me. I try to make videos, but my health doesn't always allow it, so I've been kind of low on the video count recently, aside from the actual streams. But I do have a massive giveaway running right now, where you can win one of 51 tanks or a week of Prem. And 50 of those 51 tanks come with 500 gold and a week of Prem. So it is definitely worth to go check that out. If you look for the giveaway video, you will probably find it. It's called 5k giveaway. So just so you know, shameless plug for me. I don't feel guilty about doing that, even though this is not my channel. But I'm pretty sure Wargaming can forgive me for doing it. So now we just wait. And then we have to see what happens for the next match. Because it is Lokah versus Sopromat, and then the winner of that versus Energy. Basically, I really hope that Lokah brings what we saw when they were working their way through the lower bracket of the finals. They kicked out the world champion of Raid from the EU top 4. So that is saying something. They showed really epic gameplay, and they kind of lost it in the finals, but that was also because EG read their weakness just right and basically made them pay for it. And that is something that I've really admired in EG's playstyle, which is, as you should know, the EU champion. They took it home basically because they realized that Lokah's weakness was their pushes, and Lokah was pushing, and they were just holding. They were letting Lokah make that push, and then basically slaughtering them for it. And I love that. So, yes. Like I said, shameless plug for me. Check out my gameplay. Check out my giveaway, mainly. Because that is, right now, the tourist attraction on my channel. And now we just have to wait a little bit longer. In about 4.5 minutes, we should have a room. Let's have a look. Yeah, about 4 minutes. So in the meantime, we can look at my pretty T22 on my press account. This is not my main account, mind you. I do not have that amount of gold on my main account. It would be very lovely to have this and this free XP, but no. This is a press account. Basically, I use it to review new tanks and to test out tanks just to see what they're like. I use them for tournament streams like this because you can't find a press account. If you look for this in game, You can't find it, you can't contact it, you can't send a friend request and all of that. And that makes it very, very useful, because as much as I love people adding me and just having social contact and everything, when you're streaming, all those notifications of that and that person invites you to a tune and that person sent you a friend request, it kind of doesn't really work. It's sort of like counterproductive. So yes. In the meantime, seeing the reactions to what happened with the grill win. But yeah, basically that is not necessarily that position, but that is how you work a grill, in my opinion. You play it like a second line TD. It doesn't have to camp, it doesn't have to sit at the back. You can be very forward, you just have to make sure that you're not the primary target, that's all. And that is disgusting, so I'm going to put that user in a timeout. I do keep an eye on the chat, but there is a 3-minute delay, so yeah. No, I cannot show you the new winter map that is coming, because this is not a test account. And that is something else altogether. This is not the test server either, this is the EU server that this is happening on. But yeah. So we just have to wait 2 more minutes thereabouts before we go into the room. And we can just look at... I actually... Not sure if you've paid attention to this. I really like the spinny thing. Let's see if I can... There you go. The spinny twister thing, I really like that. Especially with the blue that is sort of like moving up and all of that. It looks nice. And of course the commercial behind it with the lighting thing. You have the Legion logo at the back. You see C4's logo. I'm not spotting Raid's logo though. But they're likely there as well somewhere. And of course you have the big plate there with the Twister Cup poster and all of that. I quite like the artwork that they've made for this Twister. Also with all the different kind of wallpapers that they had, where you basically was steadily moving closer and closer together to the Twister Cup itself. And now with the wild card, you actually have a... I'm not sure if they use that, but there's a wallpaper where you see 2 tanks with a golden ticket in the middle, like at the foot of the Twister. And I like that. I like that kind of attention to detail. Because basically we've been moving closer and closer. So the qualifiers were further away from the Twister. And as you got closer with the professionals and then the finals, every stage has its own wallpaper. And I love that. I hope they kind of keep at it, because as far as I know, they didn't do that the last couple of seasons. So yeah. In the meantime, we are just waiting. The room invite should be up shortly, and then we will go into the third match. Here, there you go, timing. And we have Lokah versus Sopromat again. But we are going to a very different map. We are going to Middelburg. Middelburg looks like this. Middelburg, one of the... Well, not one of my favorite maps for sure, but it is a fun map. The tricky thing about this map is that you have 3 bases and you need to dominate 2, but the definite strongest position are in the hills. And that makes this map very questionable regarding the strength and weaknesses. Because I always found it easier to hold the hill than it is to hold the city. Because the city is flat and you do have the buildings that protect you, but there's a lot of lines into the city. And basically what we've been seeing all Twister season, at least on the EU and the Asia and the NA server, is that people go into the hill and they will send 1 or 2 meds to overlook and protect the city bases, potentially cap them if they can get away with it. But the thing is that if you have most of your team in the hill and your enemy does too, sending someone down to cap a base is actually a very big risk. Because if you do that, and the enemy is like, okay, so they have 1 or 2, depending on capping speed, and less tanks in the hill, we can now make the push because we have the gun advantage. And that is very, very dangerous. So that is the map that we're going to go to. I'll take that away from you so that's not blocking the screen. Because that is something that I'm always afraid of that I'm going to forget doing. Especially on an official stream like this, on the official channel. Because that would be like the perfect derp moment for me to do. And we just have to wait until the teams are ready now. 3 minutes left. That is plenty of time for everyone. And pretty much that's it. Not much to talk about. But I really do love the games that we have been seeing so far. RU is a server that I can't stream because while they are still playing, the EU is starting. So that is why the RU pretty much gets no coverage from EU streamers. But having seen this, I really regret that because it's been absolutely lovely seeing these teams play. Even with the very cheeky, weird pushing move that actually worked, and I've still no idea how that worked or why it worked because it really shouldn't. But it's just lovely, and WoT showing the tactical gameplay that they have. They've come so far from the extreme rushing Russians that we've seen in the first and the second Twister mainly. I love that. It's sort of like a new development, and it's just awesome. So let's see. We have little less than 2 minutes left to go. Lokah is there but not fully in the team yet. We see Tortik that is streaming for the Russians. And on the other hand we have, I'm not sure who that is, but probably also a Russian streamer. And we see that WoT is almost all there. Now Lokah is finishing up their lineup. And let's see. Lokah now completely readied up for Middelburg with 2 T22s, 3 215Bs, an E5 and an STB. Interesting lineup. I think mainly because of new consumables, this means that they can relocate quite fast. And now we see another 215 has changed into an E5. I think in this case that's a good call, because the 215B is the best at holding certain places in sort of side-scraping positions. And Middelburg does not allow for a lot of that in the hills, that is. In the city, yes, by all means, but not in the hill. So there I think the E5 would perform better. And they're going to go up against 3 T22 mediums, 2 STBs and 2 215Bs. 3 T22 mediums, that is going to be quite deadly. And I think that this is also definitely a hill lineup that we're going to see. So it will be fun to see what they do. So 17 seconds. Unicum, you need to ready up again. There you go. And then we are ready to go into the match. Here goes the countdown clock. And let's see what happens. I'll explain how these people got here after this. And we see that Lokah is completely different in avatars, and Mercy is just like, look at us, we're like unified, and Lokah is really not. I like this. I hope he gets a reply. Ah, he does. And here we go, let's see what happens. And we see both teams heading into the hills, completely not leaving anyone behind in town. Blind shot happening, but it not penning. But people are getting spotted at the back already, and that is, I think, courtesy of the T22s in the middle. Base C not being capped, but people are taking their positions around. We are going to have some brawl, or at least we're going to have a Mexican shootout standoff. That's probably the term for it. So let's see what's going to happen here. Ariana Grande watching their backs. Shots happening, but no one getting hurt yet. 205B going into one of the positions that he can hold. And being quite a bit more forwards than I would expect. Of course, it has a relatively lower profile. A little bit of HE damage to the 205B there. That is a very cheeky way to do it, but he does take damage for it. And he does get shots in from there. With the T22 moving to get base A, and he might just push on to get base B as well. and Lokah not able to react to it. No skill, just Vano moving in. They want that base. They will already have a point disadvantage. Ariana Grande also moving in to take it. Hiding behind no skill, just Vano. Let's see. But Ariana gets hurt as well, and they're not effectively keeping it together. They just keep getting reset just a bit. Not much, but they do get it in the end. But now no skill, just Vano has pushed up quite a bit. And that might be very costly. STB just took a massive hit though. And he is now in a precarious position. If no skill, just Vano can land the shots. But so far he's mostly getting tracked for it. We have Iceberg moving in. Taking that shot. Basically rushing the STB. Baron losing a lot of HP. And now we enter the roll stage, but no skill, just Vano is almost gone. He's not going to survive this. Now 2 tanks are gone. Venta Black is next in line for Lokah, but Ariana Grande is being absolutely massacred. He's not going to survive another reload. Both teams have lost 2 guns, and it's all about the focus fire in this case. But who is going to carry this home? It could be everyone. Yuriki running away, wanting to survive as long as he can. Getting shot at but surviving so far. And Lokah has lost 2 guns, whereas Mercy has lost 3. But now it is 3 versus 4. And one of the T-22s is looking very unhealthy. They could potentially take this home 3 versus 3. But Baron being deleted does not aid them. And this focus fire is not going to be good enough. The T-22 reloading. The STB running away. Iceberg pretty much deleted in favor of the STB. STB being taken out. And Iceberg is the last one left. He does take one out. But he's not going to be able to get away from there. And with a nice double tap, he is taken out. And the first match is for Sopromat. Wow. That is pretty amazing. It looked to be quite aggressive, and then when they moved in to take the STB, Mercy just immediately responded and started a pincer movement, and I love it. Very well done. Very responsive are you, team. Responsible maybe as well, but definitely responsive. And now we are going to the final battle of the lower bracket. Potentially. Because Lokah will have to win 2 in a row now. And they seem to be out of sport today. And Sopromat, with the shape that it's showing, if they win the next match, they are through to the grand finals, and we will see Mercy versus Mercy again. And one of the Mercy teams would be able to go to the offline event in Minsk. Sopromat now ready with 3 T-22s, 2 STBs and 2 215Bs. And they're going to go up against 2 215Bs, 2 E5s, 2 T-22s and an STB potentially, but they might be changing one. So let's see what happens. We have just over 35 seconds left to go, so that's plenty of time. Thing is though, Lokah will really have to regroup. They started off quite well here, but then Sopromat took the base in town. They didn't really respond to that, aside from losing quite a bit of HP trying to cap that base C. And then when they tried to push that STB, no skill, just Vano in a potentially interesting position, but he lost more health than he actually took from the enemy there, and that was very precarious. And then the rest of Lokah moving in, losing so much HP, just crossing over empty spaces. And then we just entered the full-on brawl, and Mercy's focus fire was better. So let's see what is going to happen now. I still think the 215B will receive a whatchamacallit, a legendary camouflage after this twister. And let's see. Again, both teams heading into the hills. Blind fire happening on the other side, but there's no one there yet. Blind fire happening back as well, but they don't hit either. And we have Yuriki moving into a holding position, overlooking the city. The STB and the T-22 looking over as well, but they don't spot anyone. Introvert knocking down some trees as he relocates, going in for an early cap, but will he get away with it? Unlikely, but he does get some free damage there. And immediately he relocates, Vasily covering him, and he gets... No, they actually don't. There seemed to be some miscommunication about who's supposed to be where. Shots fired, Bayou taking a little bit of damage, but not much. And now base C is being capped by Ariana Grande. He's not going to be able to cap that, because even with HE. But basically they're doing it just to lure them out. But base B is being capped, and Ariana Grande did not lose much HP for that. And they have a tiny bit of an HP advantage, about 1.2k, but will they be able to tire them out, especially now that they have the base? And we see Unicum moving in, heading towards the city, potentially going to cap the base. He has been spotted, and potentially we're going to see some crossfire there. Just like here, the STB steadily being eaten up. Unicum having been spotted, getting shot for it. But he keeps on capping. We have Introvert now moving in. He has to be careful, because they're mainly just keeping the points from happening. But now we have Introvert that's going to arrive at the back of Unicum. And that is definitely going to be trouble. And immediately we see Yuriki responding as well. And basically we have a T-22 match happening in the middle. But Unicum is out of space. He's out of HP now. And he's the first one down. The STB going down to help. They need to take out these T-22s, and they need to take them out fast. Karolak being sent back into the hills. Lokah not going for it. They have kept base C though, but Sopromat has quite a bit of an advantage. And the T-22s are still down below. But Lokah at a definite disadvantage now by over 200 points. They do take out a tank though, and that definitely makes up for something. Karolak pushing into the town, but he is way juicier than the T-22, and his STB is not a brawler tank. And we have Yuriki that is halfway deciding not to push through the city. But in this case, I think that him going this way is actually going to get Karolak killed. He does take a shot for Karolak. But now it is T-22 versus T-22, but Yuriki is getting shot from behind. Karolak moving in despite himself, getting himself killed. But it might give Yuriki the advantage. But it's not going to do them much good if they keep losing a tank for taking out a tank. And with the angling that Bayou does, we don't even know if it's going to work. Both teams lost 2 tanks, but Yuriki is almost gone. The SCB is getting hit, but Mercy is making Lokah pay for every inch by blood. Iceberg almost gone, 671 HP left, and you see all those guns trained at him. We have no Skilgis Vano arriving at the back, the T-22 almost gone, but not quite. Not having gun depression to be taken out is a very dangerous thing. Iceberg now lost. Mega. Oof. Vasily, that should have been dead a long time ago, just takes out Yuriki. And now it is too close, and this is going to be Sopromat's game as well. Just look at the HP vanish. I can't even show you everything because there's blockage everywhere. But there's only 3 Lokah players left, and they're not looking too healthy. We are at 805 points. And they can just move in. Now only Baron is last one there, and he's going to die. There he goes. 3 gunshots, but it is Vanta Black that takes him out. And the game is for Sopromat, and we're going to have Mercy versus Mercy in the finals again. We've basically seen the same matchup twice now, and we're going to see the same matchup again, but a different same matchup. So let's see how that is going to go. We will have some time before then. about 15 minutes before the last matchup of the night is happening. Mercy versus Mercy, Sopromat versus Energy. And we basically now already know for sure that the 6th team at the Twist Cup is going to be Mercy. We just don't know which one, because it can be everything. But the last matchup is going to be a best of 7, so that is definitely hopeful. I actually really like seeing these teams play again after the last matches that we saw, because that was great fun. So let's see. If you know the score, by the way, please don't spoil it, because that is just rude. Don't do that. So let's see. We just have to wait a little while. Let's what time is the match? Because I actually forgot to look at that. I think in 80 minutes, if I looked right. Yes, it is. So I'm going to be showing you some replays again. Let's see what I have for you. Let's go and look at a mouse. Thing is that if Russia has been playing like this all season, I actually really regret not seeing that more. Then I think Russia might take it home. But at the same time, we have very strong teams all around that have basically dominated their service, and I absolutely love it. By the way, just so you know, I saw someone ask about the NA. Basically, the reason that EU and RU have this wildcard tournament is the fact that it's both servers have won a Twister Cup, and that has basically been Wargame's argument to only have the wildcard tournament for them. But I think it's also related to the fact that the ping is quite closely related. That is a juicy grill looking thing at the back, but Marcel is not wasting his shot on that. He is going for the E100, who seems to have gone AFK. So now he is angling against the grill. The grill is shot, and Marcel takes him out. The E100 really does seem to be AFK, which is nice for free damage, but not that interesting to watch. I wonder if it will actually wake up again. So let's see. I'm very curious to see who will win this Twister, really. Wow. Rude people is rude. Thing is that there is so not a reason to be rude to people. Because if you camp somewhere and you get murdered for it, is that the team's fault or is that your own? So now Marcel is just leaving. There you go. He is showing his rear to Yege though. I'm not sure if that's advised. And he is now moving in to protect the DS. But he still dies. And he takes a hit from the T-57. Oof. This is not looking too good for his team, is it? If you want to get stuff, you do need to watch through the portal. You need to watch through the portal for your server and make sure that you are logged in. He is almost gone. And there he goes. T22 wanted to get the drop, and the mouse is just like, yeah, nope. Let's not. And as long as he can get the T62A to stay in front of him, then I'm not too worried. The tricky part is keeping him in front of him, because he's actually not trying to circle, which is a peculiar way of trying to drive a medium, to be fair. Yege is almost gone. And then the only one left is the AFK E100. And he gets taken out. And he is still there. Just standing there. We are near 5k damage in. The first tank they encountered is AFK. Has been AFK the whole match. And he gets another nice damage in. And he actually... Oh my god, that's so sweet. The knight actually is going in to try and get behind him. Mill him. I think he means kill. He's giving the kill to the bad chat who missed the first shot. But there he goes, and that's actually really nice. What, 6.1k damage, 1.4 block damage. Nice little game. And of course an ace with that damage. 1614 base XP. 1.8k assisted damage. That is even more funny. It's a mouse. It's not supposed to do that. But let's see, was that assisted? Oh, no, wait, this is the wrong one. And this is the one that I was going for. This is some assist damage. The grill, that was a spotting damage. Mouse best spotter for sure. So let's see what else I have for you. Thing is that the downside of streaming all these games, and let's see how much time I have left actually. 30 minutes, that is enough for at least one other replay. The downside of streaming all these games is that you quickly run out of gameplays, of replays. But I do have one more, let's see. And this one was actually requested to be played earlier this week. Because it looked quite amazing. It is of course a very, very amazing tank. I absolutely love the new line. This is a tank that I'm just, I'm so in love with it. Of course, the auto reloading system is something that I love altogether because it's something new, it's something interesting. It makes more tactical gameplay. And I just love that. I'm all for the tactical gameplay, as you might have noticed by now. Thing is that I like when it's not just skill, as in, or at least not just even skill, more like being in the right time at the right place, in the right spot, in the right tank. I love when you have to think about what you're gonna do. Are you going to use that clip? Or are you going to wait for the shell to reload again? But having the option, it's just so nice. And that shot bounced because he was actually driving forwards as he shot. And his teammate is like going completely YOLO. That is not a useful teammate to have. Conqueror making himself a bit of an easy target. But with him being low on shells, he kind of needs to reload now. And that's the thing, because now he shot his last shot again. So he can't clip that very juicy target that was just there. Now though, we see the T-54E1 that is moving in. And our tank is like, yeah, I want that. So he starts shooting him. And if he'd just been a bit more patient, he could have done easier damage here. And that last shot misses. Their team is already down 2 tanks. He's now reloading. And he's basically shooting them as they come. In this case, I would play it differently. Because I would want to be able to clip people. Even though I understand the need to take out those tanks. And now the AMX wants to get the kill. Does not get it. Mainly because of no patience. And I don't think the AMX actually realizes how much in the way he is. He takes a hit there. But he's doing this mostly to get behind. And I think to get the KPF. That will not come cheaply though. HE! Nice! Cheeky little shot. Yege moving in. Yaktika, sorry, not Yege, of course. Thing is, he keeps being in the long reload because he's never reloading his clip. Ooh, and that bounce can be very, very costly because this tank packs a wallop. And he needs to make sure that this pans. And he doesn't even use promo for it. And now he has to pull back, wait until he reloads again, and potentially take another shot from this guy. Oof. There is no patience in the way that this guy drives, and that is a very big weakness. There you go, that's one out of the way. And now we're in a 1v5 kind of battle situation. That is not the position that you want to be in. My lord. Oof. And now he's a one-shot for a lot of tanks as well. Thing is, with AFKs, mind you, because I'm responding to the chat now, there's a lot of reasons to go AFK, a lot of legit reasons that you can't help. Could be anything from your child has fallen down to a phone call, someone arriving at the door, all of that. You can't. I don't feel that it's right to judge people for being AFK, so I never downvote AFK people. Because you just don't know why. You need to put under pressure. There you go. That's one. He has been spotted now. IS-3 potentially making this very easy. If only he peeks out a little bit. Oh, that actually penned. Cheeky. And that is the way to take that tank out. This is the joy of an auto reloader. Getting that very quick fire in. We know that the third is the one that is in the base. We are not sure where the IS-3 is, but there's only one tank capping the base. But he has 5 kills, he has 4.4k damage. There's 2 minutes left on the battle button, on the battle time. This could be a potential ace, it could be a potential Raz. If it is, he's just looking for that IS-3 now, because he knows where the Ferdinand is. The very smack-talking Ferdinand. There he is. He could clip him. So he's just going to go behind. He has a 75. I do think he's still alone because he's not capping fast enough with an irregular count. He is changing to... There you go. Cap reset. And that is how you do it. And now he just has to be careful to survive. They can't cap in time. He waits until he was unspotted. And now is moving in again. What a game to... What a way to play. I love this. He just has to be very careful. That is how you do it. And now before Ferdinand can turn. There you go. And now there's only one tank left who can potentially one-shot him. But there's a Ferdinand corpse in between. He could do this, but he has to be very careful because the IS-3 is pre-aimed. Use the corpse. Ferdinand not happy. Almost gone, but this is the power of an auto reloader again. He could do this. Oh, that bounced! Oh my god! And there we go. It's a Raz. It's a Kotal Benov. It's a 5.4k damage game in tier 9. Oh my god. That is ridiculously awesome. What is this? He actually got an achievement with that. But that is absolutely awesome. Very glad I showed that off. 1641 base XP. Ridiculously awesome. Well done. What a game. Very happy to show games like that off on stream. I'll definitely be messaging him about it later because that was just epic. I love that tank. You see the capabilities, the way that the KPF came and the Conqueror came. That is exactly the strength of the auto reloading system if you have the shells loaded. Because that is basically what it is all about. So let's see. The room invite should be up any minute now. And then we will see. And we will go into the grand finals of this matchup. Mercy versus Mercy. And we will go to Oasis Palms, Rockfield, Alpenstadt and Normandy. In the meantime, I am taking the liberty to take a bit of a drink because all of this talking makes your throat pretty dry. There is a room invite there. That was just lovely. Perfect timing again. And we go back for Energy versus Sopromat again. But they gave us very entertaining games before. And I'm hoping that they will give us similar games to just now. Also with the Tiebreaker, hopefully, because that would be absolutely epic. So let's see. We are going to Oasis Palms, as I said. Oasis Palms look like this. Just going to move that into the middle a little bit. And we have 3 bases. Base A considered the heavy base, base B in the middle, and base C considered the map base. This map is pretty tricky to drive in because the positioning around base C is generally better, but there are quite a few ways of crossfire into it from camping positions from both sides. And you can't really dominate 2 bases from that position, but you can dominate base A from B and the other way around. Even though base A is a little bit more protected with the rocks, it makes it pretty difficult to decide where to go on this map. So that is the map that we're going to go to first. I would expect actually action around base A, mainly because of the fact you can't leave that unattended. And what we've seen in tournaments so far is most of the time people go C, but they always send 1 or 2 tanks towards base A, mostly to spot, not even to cap, and then they respond. But for some reason I think that they might be going A with this. But if you look at the lineups, there's very mobile lineups, so let me take away the map so that we can focus on that and that it's not blocking your screen. We have a Batchat, we have 2 Spaghettis, 2 215Bs and 2 T22 mediums on Energy side. And they are going to go up against 3 215Bs, 3 T22 mediums and a Batchat on the other side. No Spaghettis on Sopromat's side, but it will be very interesting to see what they do with this. Because the thing is, the T22 is not, at least, it is said not to be an OP vehicle, but I think in the right hands it definitely is. Because you saw the T22 battle, basically the 2v1 that we saw on Middelburg just now with Lokah. You can see that cheeky bounce can actually save a tank. And that is very dangerous, because with the other mats that's a lot less likely to happen, but the T22 has such strong armor they can get away with a lot more. So even though officially the tank is not labeled as OP, I think in tournament matches at this gameplay level it definitely is. So we will have to wait and see what 3 T22s are going to do against 2 of them, but there are Spaghettis there, and the Spaghetti, though lightly armored, can deal quite a bit of damage. Spaghetti is seriously going to be potentially my favorite tank in the game. I'm not sure. I need to get it again. I did test it, but yeah. Standard B is definitely high up on the list though. This is something Barbatos just said. Auto reloaders are OP, auto loaders became crap. It is not that black and white, but the Spaghetti line has made some of the auto loaders a bit obsolete. In randoms not so much, but in the tournament gameplay, yes, I agree. I'm just absolutely... that replay just now with the standard B, that was just absolutely nuts. I love it. With this replay though, they still have just over a minute left to go. With this, these lineups though. This is something that I always regret with wargaming massively buffs a tank or gives it something that gives it an edge over every other tank. Like, in this case, no Foch is being taken, but the autoloader on the Foch is just ridiculous. And they can't really nerf it mid-season. But the thing is that they've sort of like influenced the meta that there's basically 3 tanks that just mainly cat pick now. And in this case, the Foches are being taken out with the to basically have the not necessarily DPM, because the Foch is very high right now with that, but to have the mobility and the turrets that the Foch does not have. And just duke out the damage. But the thing is that it kind of makes it predictable. I was talking to one of the tactics makers from one of the EU teams very early in the competition, and he basically said the tactics right now is you get some FVs, you get some Foches, And you get some T22 mediums, fill up the last few tanks, and that's it. And that kind of makes it boring. Both the tactics play, but also just the gameplay, because you have tanks with almost exactly the same capabilities. And it just makes it, yeah, less interesting, in my opinion. No idea what that says, hope it's positive. But here we go, the grand finals for the wildcard that decides who gets to go to Minsk. Mercy versus Mercy, Sopromat versus Energy. And we have, I was right, my intuition was right. We see, we see Energy heading towards base A. And we see Sopromat doing the same. So I'm actually going to go into the middle more to show you when they meet, because I think that is more interesting to see than just hovering and missing all the lineup. We have the Batcha that is moving into base A quite cheekily, getting that early advantage, using the rock. But we have the other Batchat and T22 and the Spaghetti moving in. We have the 2 and 5. Basically, this is just like complete mayhem altogether already. Bihorka is almost gone. There he goes. There goes Introvert. It's all about the damage loadout right now, and in that way I think the Spaghettis may have an advantage here, at least early on. But Energy has lost 2 tanks right now. Base A is being kept. Nerve a bit caught in the middle. Tanks are dropping left and right. But it is 5 versus 4. We have the Batchet and a T22 running around. Applewoww almost gone. Mega as well. He's going to be gone. And we see that now Applewoww has been murdered quite brutally. Batchet arriving. Spaghetti running off. Nerve taking a bit of damage there. Spaghetti reloading. Holstein taking some damage. Nerve getting shot as he runs. Holstein getting caught by the 2 and 5B. He is going to be gone on someone's next reload. There he goes. And there also goes Nerve. And it is 2 versus 3. But the 2 is Spaghettis. They could potentially do it, but they're not really in any position to help each other. And especially that tracking shot is not going to be helping. Something needs to be... Oof. And he takes massive damage crossing over there. And again, it is 2 versus 2. Sopromat has a base. They have the advantage. Incoming is going to get it coming. And now only something is left. And something is not going to be able to survive this. He will survive that shot, and I do love that camo. It's a shame to see it get destroyed. But he can't really do anything at this stage. And there he goes. And the first game is for Sopromat. Very quick game, very quick brawl. I'm kind of curious what was said in the beginning. But that is the first game of the grand finals for the wildcard twister that will decide who is going to Minsk. Will it be Sopromat or will it be Energy? It could be either one. All we know is that it's definitely going to be an RU team and not an EU team, because they have been knocked out. So let's see what happens. In about 1.5 minutes we get to go into the second match of this best of 7. That means that the first one to reach 4 victories is actually one that is going to go through to Minsk. And the other one will be second place and not go. That's actually quite sad when you think about it. And we see Sopromat taking a very different lineup. They take 1 215B instead of the lots that they've been taking so far. 2 Foshes, an E50M, an STB, and 2 E5s. And they're going to go up against a Batchat, a Spaghetti, potentially 3 215Bs, a Fosh, and a T22 medium. And they're still ready up in that lineup. They have 45 seconds left before they go actually into the match. So they have plenty of time to change. Probably changing provisions, equipment, all of that. Because depending on what role you want a tank to play on the match, it can have a very different function. And that basically means that you need to tweak your tank. And when it comes to team gameplay, you can get away with that, making it stronger in one or another situation. 17 seconds left before we go into the second Seriously, stop spoiling with the results. That's just so sad. But here we go. 6 seconds before we go into the match. Sopromat versus Energy. Mercy versus Mercy. They have no mercy for each other. Hehe, pun intended. And let's see what's going to happen. Just look at that though, that camouflage. I love it. It is different. And the thing is that with the... I like fantasy tanks, I like tanks that look different. It doesn't have to be realistic for me. So let's see what is going to happen now. And we see Applebow heading towards base C. With Bjorpa going towards the back. And the rest heading towards base A. But we see the Adamant and the E50M. They are going to go and meet Applebow here. First shots exchanged, but no damage being done. We have Bjorpa at the back together with someone whose name I can't read. They're all holding. Applebow is trying to get them to move forwards to try and shoot him. But if they do, they're going to lose a lot of HP most likely. In the city we have a bit of a nothing happening, so I'm just going to focus on this side for now. And let's see what's going on. Mega peeking up, wanting to see who's there. Applebow retreating. And we see Energy making a move downtown. Sopromat holding where they are. Going into base C again potentially, but they're very careful with that. Applebow still keeping them spotted. We have the E5s there, but that means that the city side is quite weak. Base C is now being capped, but that means that Bio might be in trouble here. Big hit into Avenger there. Forsh living up to its name of murdering people. But now base A is being capped and base B is being capped as well. That is a very cheeky move. If they get away with that, Energy has a definite advantage. And Bio being tracked there is definitely not going to help him. Base A and B now steadily in Energy's hold. All Energy now has to do is wait for it and just be patient. And hold. They just need to keep the bases. They don't even need to stand in them anymore. And it will be up to Sopromat to make a move, to make something happen. So let's see what's going on here. We see the Foch and the E5 moving in. A little bit of HP being lost on one side, but a lot more is lost on Bio's side, and he will need to fix him. But I think he's run out of kits, so he's going to be at a disadvantage for a bit. And now he's no longer spotted. Let's see. Like I said, Energy just needs to hold now. They have the base, they just need to make sure that Sopromat doesn't cap them. And we see Sopromat moving in. Most of the team is here. Bio taking a bit more damage. And now we see Sopromat pushing. But as they do so and base A is being capped, we have a Foch that is standing there. The Foch is capping. And he's actually moving in. Vanta Black is now gone. Massive hit into Avenger there. And there goes Avenger. But all in all, the tanks are a bit too spread out, and that could work very much against Sopromat here. Because they are getting caught in a crossfire in a pincer movement. And there's basically tanks just being lost left and right. The Foch arriving. They need to make sure that all their shots count at this stage. He does set someone on fire though. But he is gone before he can deliver the next shot. And it's actually Energy's match because of points already. And they can't really do much of anything about that. They just keep on shooting even though the battle is finished. But the game is definitely for Energy. And with the 1-1 score, we are moving on to Rockfield. Very different map, very different roles on that map. It looks like this. Let me just move that into the middle a little bit more. And we have 3 bases again. Base A with a bunker that allows for some cover. Base B with pretty much a lot of lines of fire into it. It is difficult to cap, but if you have it, it will be very difficult to steal. And we have base C on the other side. That is basically the side where I always go with encounter matches, because I feel that it is strongest, but not so necessarily with the bases. There's a ledge near base C that allows people to peek on up and over. And that makes it a little bit tricky, because if you peek up and over there, you can get shot very badly. So that is the second map that we're going to for this best of 7. Just making sure that there is no map on the screen for you. And we see that Energy has readied up with a Batchat, 2 T22 mediums, 3 215Bs and an IS-4. And they're going to go up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T22 mediums and 2 215Bs. That is very, very... I kind of wonder what they're going to do with that. But now we see that it is 4 T22s and 3 215Bs, but they might still change. As for the free camera... No, it is still 5 and 2. Oh my god. Dino Guy, you can do this as a normal spectator, but you have to be on a PC to do it. Only the PC has the free camera option. So that's just so you know. The more you know. So here we go into the countdown with a heck lot of T22 mediums, and I'm very curious to see what they will do and how they will perform, because they do lack some gun depression. So they might not have the easiest job on this map. And they kind of have to win at this stage, Energy, when they see Sopromat with that lineup. Will these two have trained together? Like, will they know what they're going to be doing? Because they're in the same clan, so they have to know something about each other's game style, I would say. So let's see what is going to go down. What are all those T22s doing? And all those T22s are going towards base C with the 215Bs. Looking to go more towards the middle, or holding... No, they're holding at their spawn. But those T22s are making quite an aggressive push. But I think that that is exactly what they're expecting, which is exactly why they're probably here. And oh my god, Venta Black. Losing so much HP, like right away. Almost gone. He can't even pull back. He is going to be out of it. This is a YOLO rush if I ever saw one, but it's not working as intended. And Energy basically felt it was going to happen very quickly. And now we have Bio that is just absolutely getting massacred. And now they've already lost 3 tanks. Just look at this. They're just being absolutely obliterated. It is going to be a potential 7-0 if this keeps up. Now we have 1 T22 medium left. He's facing off against an IS-4. And there goes the first one from Energy. But they've lost 4 tanks, taking 1 tank out. I'm not sure what's happening with this introvert. He is not moving. And this is some pretty fishy gameplay, if I may say so myself. But now it is 6 versus 1 introvert. Stuck in position, and he gets taken out. And the match is over in 1 minute and a half. That is the fastest tournament match I have ever seen. With a complete YOLO rush. And that is a questionable way of doing things. As said, the first one that reaches 4 victories is the one that is going to go through to the to Minsk, to the offline. But for now, let's focus on the second match on Rockfield that we're going to get. And in a minute and a half, we got to go there. Seriously though, 5 T22 mediums and then a complete YOLO rush, but you don't take every tank with you? So we have Sopromat now readying up in a bit more mature lineup of 3 T22s instead of 5, 3 215Bs instead of 2, and an extra in the form of a Batchat. And they're going to go up against 1 Batchat, 2 T22 mediums, 2 215Bs, and a Foch. I think in this case, Energy just read them, knew exactly what they were going to do, where they were going to go, and murdered them for it. Little less than 1 minute left to go. J-Bar still needs to ready up, but he has plenty of time for that. And then we get to go into the 4th match of this best of 7. And we are already streaming 2 hours. The crates are still going. So pretty soon you should have all rewards. And in 18 seconds we get to go into the match. For me the timer seemed to have stopped a little bit on the portal, but yeah. And here we go, the countdown clock has begun. There is no map that is stuck on the screen for you guys. And here we go. Avenger actually having taken a different avatar a few matches ago. Not wanted to be a bull anymore. The bull thing kind of worked last match though, because with Energy being the red team and the bulls heading towards the red flag. Yeah. So let's see what is going to go on now. We have Energy heading towards the middle and towards base A by the looks of it, with something in the force going into a camping position. The Batchat spawning in the middle. And then going straight into... No, not straight into base B, but overlooking base B. We have J-Bars making a move. Holstein getting out of there. Taking a little bit of fire, but not that much. But he is in a bit of a tricky position, especially when Bio arrives at the other side. And will potentially get shots in. Holstein pulling back, using the rocks as his cover to get out of there. No bases being camped, but they are dominating sides of the map. And the only one that has lost HP so far, I spoke too soon, is now J-Bars and Holstein. Oh, massive hit into Introvert there. The Force doing its work as intended. And now he's safely going into the base to cap. But base C on the other side is also being capped. Nerve taking a little bit of damage. And overall they're not going for C. They really want to make sure that A does not get capped. But the Batchat is small enough that it can get away with it. Nerve taking its side scraping positions, but in a bit of a precarious position. Shots happening all around. But HP wise, Energy has a bit of an advantage, if not that much. But there's about a tank of difference between points. Oh, big hit into Nerve there. Nerve, that is not a position that you want to be in. And Nerve is almost gone. With one more reload from this Batchat potentially, Nerve will be gone. And we see Bio moving in at the back, wanting to spot the Force. Taking some shots into the Force. Pulling basically the team apart, but look at the HP just vanishing. And this is, again, a very tricky rush to do. But if they keep their tanks alive, if they manage to get the shots in, Mega is out. Both teams have lost a gun, but HP wise, it's going every which way really. Everything can happen. Introvert has been taken out. And now we have, 3 tanks. 4 versus 3. And anything can happen. Incoming is almost out. Vasily is gone. It is 3 versus 2. But the Batchat is almost gone. And there goes J-Bars and Holstein still alive. And now we only have Vanta Black left. Versus 2. But it will be very tricky. But they have the bases. If they survive this, they have it. But the Batchat is at liberty to go and take base B from them. Which is exactly what he's doing. And Vanta Black will have to make a move. They will have to make it happen. Side scraping against each other will be about who side scrapes best. HP wise, they're similar. And this can go every which way. Base B has been capped. The Batchat will come up now. And now the Batchat can potentially clip Vanta Black. And he can't angle against all of them. and he's losing too much HP. Especially that bounce is going to be very costly. The Batchat moving in, and there goes Vantablack. Pretty close game, but Energy takes it home. So if you've watched from the very beginning, at least I know I started my stream pretty much in the beginning, on my iPad that is, you should have all crates and the avatar now. But definitely do stick around, the pressure is on. Energy has to win 1 more match to take it home, whereas Soprimat has to win 3 more to go to Minsk. And basically we are going to a new map now. We are going to Alpenstadt. Alpenstadt, one of the more fun maps in my opinion. I really like it. It is one of the new maps, one of the less predictable maps. You have base A, which is considered the map base B in the model, C the heavy base. But basically this is one of those maps where every tank can go every which way and make it work somehow. But the thing is, there are quite a few lines of fire into from long distances. And if you get caught out in the open, you can get absolutely massacred for it. So that is a very tricky thing, but I do like this map mainly because of that. I mainly like the unpredictable maps that you just don't know what's going to happen. So I'll take that away so that it's not on your screen. And we have Sopramat ready with 4 T22 mediums, 2 215Bs and a Foch, versus 2 T22 mediums, an IS-4, 3 215Bs and a Foch. Both teams pretty much new meta lineups. A little bit less Foch in the Russian teams that we see in other servers. But I actually quite like that because we've seen some very interesting things from both these teams really. 20 seconds left before we go into the match. And then we get to see a potentially decisive match for this Wildcard Blitz Twister Cup tournament. And we will potentially know if Energy wins the next match, then they are going to Minsk. If Sopramat wins the next 3 matches, then they will. So let's see what is going to go down. Especially again with those many T22s. Kind of wonder what they're going to do, if they're going to actually stick together now. So let's see. We see Energy heading towards base B and C. And we see that Sopramat is doing the same thing. And that might lead to a very early brawl stage. They are spotted. Cube holding. No one actually going into base B, but the T22s take some big damage crossing over. I can't show you it properly because of the red line, but oof, that was a big hit. HP, a lot has been lost already. And no one is getting base C. The T22s trying to make it work, trying to survive together. But Vasily is almost gone. And they're just moving in now to round it up. There goes Vasily. There goes Vantablack. There goes J Barnes. This is going to be one of the quick matches again. There goes Mego, there goes Bayou. Now we have only Nerf and Introvert left. Introvert already gone. Foch not able to turn properly. And now he's actually just waiting to get destroyed, standing as he is, showing him his flanks and rear side. And it is Energy that is going to get the wild, that has the wild card, and that's going to go through. But I have to say, some of these matches, yes, a 7-0 to finish it off. 4 wins for Energy, and Energy has the wild card, is going to go to Minsk. So that is basically it. We now know everyone that is going to Minsk. We see, let's see the previous, here you go, there is Energy. But we have Feast from the Aces server, 7-star from the RU server. Then you have EG from the EU server, you have Rain from the NA server. The China team, I actually don't know exactly which that is because China is completely closed down, so I haven't really paid attention to that. But a China team. And last but not least, we have Energy Mercy, and that is going with the wildcard ticket. So that is it for tonight. That is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, especially the early games. I thought were absolutely beautiful. And I'm just eager to see how this will go with the offline and all of that. I honestly can't really call a winner because I actually have no idea who's going to take it home. A lot of teams that we have seen are so incredibly strong, so much stronger than we've ever seen them before. If they bring that same form, if they bring that same team, because they do have reserves and they do have to check out who, they do have to see who is actually going to be able to make it with visas and all of that, maybe permission from parents, because not everyone is 18 plus. But it's definitely going to be an epic Twister Cup in Minsk in the beginning of November. So thank you all for watching. Thank you teams for the lovely gameplay. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it. And see you in Minsk with the streams done for the offline. I'm not sure if I will be there, but we will definitely see all these teams and I'm definitely going to be watching what is going to happen there. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all the teams for the lovely gameplay. Best of luck to each and every one of you. And I'll be following the Twister streams for sure. So I hope you guys do too. Bye bye.